Coming to you live from the On Access studios in beautiful downtown Torrance, it's the Quarantine Comedy Show with special guest Mary Kennedy and musical guest Levi Fox. And weekly news updates with Renee Piercy. And now, the host of the Quarantine Comedy Show, Tom Kearney.
Hi, folks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I'm Tom Kearney, and welcome back to the Quarantine Comedy Show. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing okay? Yeah? Good. So we have record cases of COVID again, just coming up. It's a little scary. We do have some things to cheer about. The World Series is happening. Yes, baseball. Yes, we had the last presidential debates. Yes, that's the last time we have to see Donald Trump debates. I've seen that guy debate 16 times, and it just keeps getting funnier. No, seriously, I don't know about you, but some people feel differently, but I cannot wait for November 3rd. I feel like I have a root canal that needs to be fixed, and I just went to the doctor, and they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see the doctor. You're going to have to live with that festering pustule tooth that's stinking up the joint for, November 3rd. I don't know. This is like a disaster movie, folks. Yeah, have you ever noticed that every disaster movie ever made in Hollywood always starts off with the government not listening to the scientists? I feel sorry for these guys, like Fauci and the guy from the CDC. Oh my God, Captain Crunch. Oh my goodness. So he comes out, he was like, "Folks, this is the most important thing that you can do. This can save your life. It's the most effective thing, even more so than a vaccine." And then I was thinking about that. Okay, so we all know that now. But there's 4 different types of folks that and what they believe, right? Okay, so the first guy, he wears his mask like this, right? And he believes in science. And then you got the other guy, and he wears his mask like this. He doesn't really understand science. And then you got the other guy, and he wears his mask like this. He believes in magic. And then you got the other guy, and he comes and he takes his mask and he wears it like this. Because he doesn't understand science. It's crazy. So, okay, we got a long, cold, dark winter that's going to last a lifetime. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm trying not to be all doom and gloom. But, okay, this is what happened to me. Because cold season's coming, the flu and stuff like that. And nobody really wants to cough or sneeze, especially like if you're in a store or in public, because people freak out. They freak out. I was at Ralph's shopping the other day, and I just had a little tickle, and I was wearing my mask, and I just went in my elbow, I went, and everybody's like, ah! And they're diving over counters and doing all this stuff, and I didn't know what to do. Everyone's like staring at me like I'm a leper, so I just jumped up on the counter. I was like, "Excuse me, everybody, can I have your attention, please? Please, I have an announcement to make, okay? I do not have COVID-19, okay? I kind of choked on my own little saliva there for a second. Repeat, I don't have COVID-19. I'm failing as a human being." Oh my God. Folks, we have a fantastic show for you today. Very funny lady out of Hollywood, Mary Kennedy. We also have musical guest Levi Fox. But before we get started, here's our very own Renee Piercy with our weekly news roundup. Renee, what the heck is going on out there?
I'm Renee Piercy, and it's time for another episode of... It's exactly 2 weeks until election night, and you've probably noticed by now Kanye is on the ballot. Can we all agree that this man is not well? He is paranoid. He has delusions of grandeur. I mean, he is acting downright presidential. Speaking of crazy, Kirstie Alley says she's voting for Trump again because, quote, he's not a politician. Which explains why she goes to her mechanic for a bikini wax. Emily also added that Trump gets things done quickly, and I have to agree with her there. No one has killed so many people so fast. Imagine if joining Scientology wasn't even your biggest mistake. In California, a big rig trailer carrying over 800 cases of beer overturned on the highway. The good news is, it was Bud Light. Speaking of beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon is releasing a cannabis-infused sparkling water. Hipsters have already decided to drink the seltzer warm, so they can say they liked it before it was cool. The New Yorker has suspended staff writer and author Jeffrey Toobin after he exposed himself on a Zoom work call. Besides being suspended, Toobin has also been ordered to change the name of his book, The 9, to the 5.5 at best. A well-known pastor from North Carolina who relieved himself on a sleeping woman seated next to him on a Delta flight is blaming the incident on a sleep aid. To be fair, side effects may include peeing on people on planes. And in the head-to-head ratings race between Trump and Biden's dueling town halls, Biden handedly won. Trump did a town hall by himself and still lost. 14 days left to vote. I'm Renee Percy. See you next Tuesday for more.
Wow, that's a lot going on there. Thank you for that weekly news roundup. That's our very own Renee Percy, ladies and gentlemen. All right, coming up next, a very funny lady out of Hollywood. Put your hands together for Mary Kennedy.
Hi, my name is Mary Kennedy, and I'm originally from Boston. And, you know, the Boston accent was getting in the way of my sex life. I mean, there's nothing like a night of heavy lovemaking when you turn to the guy next to you and you go, "That's a wicked big pisser you got down there, huh? Go Pats!" So, I come from this little town called Marblehead, which is 4.5 square miles, 20 minutes north of Boston, surrounded by water and regret. And I had to share a room with my Irish Catholic grandmother after my parents got divorced, and I shared a room with her until I was 18 years old. I mean, there's nothing like going out on a date when you're a teenager and there's some heavy petting and you come home and your Irish Catholic grandmother is clanging her rosary beads going, "I hope you didn't pull a Mary Magdalene. She was a whore." Yeah. So our room, one side of the room was a shrine to Jesus. The other side was a shrine to Duran Duran because grandma was hungry like a wolf. But I didn't get pregnant. So my mom, growing up, after my parents got divorced, she had a band. Which consisted of 40-year-old divorcees singing Hot Stuff and Locomotion called the Mood Swings. And I was her roadie. Now, my mother always told me not to get pregnant. That was her biggest fear. So my grandmother taught me the birds and the bees from the Bible. She did. She gave me a dusty old Bible and she told me read it cover to cover and then come back and I'll give you a quiz. So I did. I read the whole Bible. And I came back and she told me the story and she says, "All right, Mary, sit down. I'm going to tell you all the details. So do you remember when Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden? Remember? And Eve was really hungry and she saw that serpent. And the serpent kept chatting with her and it said, you know, Eve, you got to eat the apple. And she said, no, I can't eat the apple because I'm on the Weight Watchers and I only have 1 point left. And an apple is 2 points. So I got to give it to Adam. And you know what? Right there, Mary, is the reason why we go through hell and damnation every month because of that goddamn Eve. Then, right, you remember Mary, who you're named after, by the way, like the Virgin. She's laying down and she's sleeping and she's dreaming of the Jason Momoa. And this little angel comes down and taps her on the shoulder and goes, "You know what, Mary? You're going to give birth to the Jesus. You're God's son. And you're going to wake up pregnant." Just like the new Lifetime series, she woke up pregnant. And you know the thing, Mary, that Lifetime has been running after them forever for the residuals. Then you got Mary, and she finally gives birth to Jesus, and she's with her gay best friend Joseph, because they weren't together. There was, Anyway, so she's giving birth in the barn, and there's chicken and fowl and cows, and she's pushing, and she sees 3 guys walk in and give her paprika and incense. And Mary, you know what? They look suspiciously like earth, wind, and fire. So after that, I was convinced, and I asked my mother, I said, did you have sex with Dad? And my mother said, yeah, I had sex with your father. And I go, ugh. She goes, why are you making that face? You didn't have to sleep with him. So anyway, but my mother, she's Irish, right? She told me my whole life, we're Irish. And I did the 23andMe, and I found out that I am 100% Irish. I was hoping that I was maybe 1% Jewish, because I've been married to my husband for almost 20 years, and I'd like to throw a bat mitzvah because I need towels. So my mother went to the Holy Land, Ireland, and she called me from the hotel lobby. And I was thinking, oh, she got me a Blarney Stone or some Waterford. And she goes, Mary, you're not gonna freaking believe it, but in the lobby of the hotel, they sell liquor and Tampax. Mary, if you've got your period, this is the place to go. I got lots of tampons from that trip. Here's the thing. I'm going through menopause right now. I need a fan as we're speaking. And I don't understand now why I went from Ross Dress for Less, where I could dress like a whore cheaply, to now Chico's, okay? Chico's. And I walked into the store, and this nice Southern lady greeted me, and she said, you know what, lady? It is a Chico's kind of day. Let me tell you, okay? I don't understand why, now that I'm going through menopause, they don't think that I can put on a necklace by myself, that I have to have the jewelry sewn in to the outfit because I'm so inept to put a necklace around my neck. Okay, I'm just letting everybody know that I just bought a sweater with so much turquoise on it that it's so heavy that I have to go to a chiropractor because I have whiplash. So I am telling everybody, it is never a Chico's kind of day.
Yes, Mary Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. That was wicked funny. All right, folks, musical guest for this week, a very talented guy out of the Bronx in New York. Put your hands together for Levi Fox. Levi Fox, ladies and gentlemen. The future of rock and roll is in good hands, ladies and gentlemen. All right, folks. Well, that's our show for this week. Did you like it? Huh? Did you dig it? Well, if you did, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I mean it. Do it today, because you do not want to miss a moment of what's coming up next. And if you liked it, give it a like. Smash it. Share it with a friend. Tell the world about the Quarantine Comedy Show, because we are here for you good people to help you through all this mess. All right, folks, be well, stay cool, and always keep laughing. For the Quarantine Comedy Show, I'm Tom Kearney.
Coming to you live from the On Access Studios in beautiful downtown Torrance, it's the Quarantine Comedy Show.
I'm rich!